Are you friggin' for real? Julia-Ruth is completely responsible for her actions. Who is as heiferlicious and trifling as this, as her?
And his soon-to-be ex-wife, we've kept it this way.
Close your legs to married men.
Excuse me?
Close your legs to married men.
It's not even over. It's not even over. I can't even get the sentence out. It's so ridiculous. Her and Joe went on holiday. She sat up here, yeah, with the lioness mane. She sat up here with her Chris self. So not even I've gone to go and see him, or we've been out, or we've gone for drinks, or we've gone for food, or you've take up yourself, pack up suitcase. Sorry. It's not you packed a suitcase, luggage, bikini wet. And here, Julia-Ruth know about how we spent the whole time slagging you off. What are you trying to do? Hang on, dig a seat with him. And like she's not answering the question. Like, dig a seat with him, dig a seat with him, dig a seat with him. Yes, I slept with him, and she slept with him as well. What do you mean? You're going to tell me this, share you up on national television, go off on holiday, tell me on your own, but actually you're with one of my friends on the show, sleep with her, and then tell me that you want to come see me on the way back from Newcastle because... It's too much! Listen. Yeah. For the sake of TV, and us all likely sitting here going, are you friggin' for real? Like, for that moment alone, I'd say, you know what? Yeah, Channel 4, fair play. You have made an entertaining show. You've allowed a room for some degenerate behaviour, yeah, to filter through on our TV screens. But if you just compartmentalize that for 1 second, for one moment, yeah, put that to one side, and you actually focus on some of the information that came out of that episode. I really haven't caught my breath yet. I have not caught my breath yet from what I've just heard. What on... There's just so much to unpack. There's so much to unpack. I tell you something. I am not reacting to any more of these shows, man. I'm telling you, because either they're just full of the worst people ever, yeah, or the producers and the people then behind the scenes, they're the worst people ever to do this to other people. Because what do you even mean? Okay, so this episode, yeah, is the boys and the girls. They've got an opportunity in which to kind of like start off with, to go to have a meal, a nice Chinese meal, to have a sit down meal, yeah, and a catch up with the people thems, old and new, the ones that have been there from the get go, and you know, the current ones and stuff, and just I guess debrief about their journey. And you know, I guess for the ones that are still in there, so your Rebecca's, your Bailey's, your Leah and Lee's, your John and Abigail's, your Kia and David's, who else is there? Leisha and Reese. Like, for these guys, like, you know, they've got enough to think about as to who is actually going to make it down the aisle. Because to be honest, aside from John and Abigail, I don't know. You know, you got Leisha and Reese. They're still reeling. I mean, even more reeling, really, because of her turning around saying that I love you, and him obviously waking up being like, I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I could see myself falling in love with her maybe, but you know, all these bickers, as they call it, are setting me back. Now, to me, that alone is enough to go, I'm not gonna say, because I'd be the same. Like, I'm not giving you I love you, until I know concretely, like, yeah, you're the one for me. Because all that unnecessary behavior, like I keep going back to the butter. Yeah, you read up and got vexed about the butter. I don't know whether I can love someone like that. That's just me personally. So I get that it's really a shame that she said it and he didn't. Like, but she knew that he wasn't going to say it. And again, if that's like a psychological, well, there's two things in it. Either it's like a, well, three things. One, you genuinely said it because you don't mind not hearing it back. You just need to let it off your chest. Two, you're saying it because you're hoping that, like, you know, that if you say it to him, then it's gonna kind of manipulate him to kind of go, I love you too. Or three, you were literally just that oblivious that you're just leaking out feelings, you're just leaking out the love yous, and don't even know how potentially off-putting that could be. Because it is lovely to hear, but, you know, to not hear it back when you probably know you're not going to hear it back, because you know you've got these situations that are happening. Like, you know, I get that it's quite cyclical. I get that, you know, the more she needs reassurance is the more that she acts out, and the more she acts out, the more she pushes him away. But everybody sat you down and said, so the experts have told you, Abigail came around and told you, your other brethren have told you, Reese has himself told you just need to just chill it out a little bit. And unless there's something else I'm missing here, I'm in Reese's camp. Like, I can't give you something I don't genuinely feel, and the more that you keep pushing me to say it, I'm not gonna say it. And the more that you keep, like, getting upset about things that you don't need to be getting upset about, the more it's gonna make me go, I don't know if you're someone that I should love, really. So yeah, so I'm kind of feeling for her a little bit, but not necessarily really. You got Rebecca and Bailey, who are you know, really both of them don't really know what's going to happen when they leave the experiment, because, you know, again, Bluebell, the home, her business, all that kind of stuff. You've got Leah and Lee, who seem quite excited still, and quite in it together. But I think when they sit down and they're talking, it's like, yeah, but we're not probably where we should be by now. I think Leah's kind of saying the same. Leah's kind of saying the same thing. Like, oh, you know, I don't know whether it should be this hard. Like, that was the kind of, you know, the intro that we saw to the episode. John and Abigail, they're cool. I'm really not the biggest fan of John when he's got his hair down like that. I mean, again, it's his head top, though. It's, you know, him do whatever he wants to do. I mean, like, but yeah, I'm not. And yeah, Kieran David, they're all good. You know, again, really quite happy from their last final dates and stuff. So anyway, like, everyone's kind of like ran their tables and stuff. So you got the girls with Kia, and then you got the guys with Leah, and they're all kind of like just, you know, talking about their own individual journeys and what it's been like, and everything seems really, really good, and they're all wondering, like, who's gonna come. So as the girls are all talking now, they start to see different people arriving. So the first person that arrives is Sarah. She's all pretty in pink and stuff, and Dean come back as well. Sarah's all like, yeah, everything's going great, like, you know, me and Dean speak all the time, like every day still, but we're just friends, like that's it, like there's nothing more happening from that. Dean comes bounding through and he's like, yeah, everything's great, like we still talk every day, like we're married, and I'm going to see her and her dad, and I guess we'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? Come again. come again, sorry. So look, I appreciate that feelings don't just disappear. Like, I understand that, but what in the Delulu am I hearing? Like, so on the one hand, Sarah's coming going, oh, me and Dean are really cool, we're still friends. And in the other vein, he sat down there still talking like he's got hope. What are you talking? Again, we don't know all the information, so maybe there are things happening that we don't know about and can't comprehend. But I can't have been the only one that was like, come on, Dean, you've done Left the People show. Do you know what I mean? Like, you must have read the comments and stuff by now, man. Like you must be the only person that is not reading the room. Like, what do you mean that, like, we'll see what happens? We'll see what happens. Don't we already know what's gonna happen? Like, what more do you need? What glutton for punishment? What are you doing? I was so disappointed. I was hoping he's gonna say, you know what, like, yeah, I've had some really good time away, and like, you know what I'm worth, and yada 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 yada. None of that. None of that. We'll see what happens when we go to Scotland and see the dad, because because we never know. Oh dear. So we've got all that delusion there, yeah. And again, I could be wrong. Like, maybe there's stuff that I don't know about. Do you know what I mean? But I'm only going if this was any kind of like projects or court case or whatever, and you had to put evidence towards something to go, okay, well, these are all the facts of the case, and these are all the reasons why I think what I think. Is there anybody out there that would go, yeah, actually, based on all the information we've had thus far, let's go and get our hat ready? See what I mean? Still a black style. Let's go and get our wedding hat ready, because they're gonna renew their vows. Okay. So yes, you got those two. Then I'm trying to think who else comes. You've got Anita that comes back. She comes back. Guys wise, you've got Stephen that comes back. You got Leo and Divani that come back. April comes back for the girls. Maeve comes back for the girls as well. I think that's it. I can't think of any of the other girls. And obviously Julia-Ruth. And Nelly. Nelly comes back as well. Do you got Nelly? So you got Nelly and Stephen come back. April and Leo come back. Julia-Ruth and Divani come back. So Anita comes back, but her guy, I can't remember what his name was, but he doesn't come back. So that's interesting. But yeah, when Anita comes back, it's all very much like, yeah, you know when things aren't right. You got to do what's right for yourself. I knew it wasn't right for me. He asked me nothing about me. We've not spoken since. So she's all like, yeah, cool. Like, know your self-worth and know when to call it a day. As it's like panning to Alicia, just being like, yo, she's kind of talking about your situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, you came here for love, and it looks like it might not be love. And then they start talking about Julia-Ruth and the fact that they're not sure whether Julia-Ruth's going to come in and like what that's going to be like and whatever. And even the way that they've set this up, yeah, this is what I'm saying. What as much as like Julia-Ruth is completely responsible for her actions, yeah, completely responsible. But there has to be some blame laid upon the producers of the show, because you have hailed her, yeah, as the Beyonce. I mean, I'm not going to put Beyonce's name on it, yeah, because Beyonce. No, I'm not going to put Beyonce's name on it. We're gonna who is as heiferlicious and trifling as her.
And his soon-to-be ex-wife. We've kept it this way.
Close your legs to married men.
Excuse
you heard
me?
it? Close your legs to married men.
Wow,
you heard it.
Nene, is he
You
legally
heard
married?
it.
You are absolutely
You
right.
heard it from
You're
me.
absolutely
Close
right.
your legs to married men.
Nothing.
Close your legs to that lady's
Nothing.
husband.
Can we do another question?
Anyway, there's somebody, yeah, that like we don't like, but you've given her this platform, right, where she's coming in and she's doing her makeup, and like she's got the hair's even bigger, it's even wider, it's even longer, and she's got this catsuit on with the arch in herself. Like they think she's so stush, so stush. And look, I don't want to be a full-on hater. She is an attractive person. Do you know what I mean? Like, she is. But you know when someone's spirit makes them unattractive, it makes them unattractive. I'm just like, wow. Like, wow. So she's walking in with the slow-mo and the catsuit and the Beyonce stepping at the front, and so she's feeling like, yeah, I've got some real tea, because I don't even know what's about to come. So she's relishing in this bad B era. Now, as I said, my friend said, like, if that's the role you're gonna play, safe. At least you're gonna own it. Like pantomime level. But even then, with what she was about to come in with, I didn't think what I was about to hear would have been so bad. Like, I really didn't. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be unapologetic, and yeah, maybe, I don't know. Could I have foreseen something happening with her and Stephen? I don't know. I kind of got that Stephen wasn't really into her, so I was like, maybe not. Like, I don't know. But I don't know. I wasn't ready for what unfolded when it came to Julia-Ruth. I genuinely wasn't ready. So well done, producers. Yeah, if that was the plan, to keep us absolutely flabbergasted, like, All of my flabbers were gassed in, mate. Let me tell you, all of them, every single last one. When she rolled down those steps like some supermodel, that she was like some kind of meet and greet. I'm meeting my groupies. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey girl, like that energy that you come in with, yeah. Like you are like, I don't know. Again, I could get it if she was like, look, I've done some reflecting. You know, the way I've handled myself, you know, hasn't been great. I've since seen, like, even like on some of the more recent posts and stuff that people have got, because she's got some interview with her and Kia on Cosmo and stuff, and she's put some statement out about how she's seen some of her you know, some of her behaviors on the show and what she's grown from. But I thought she was talking about what she was like before she departed with the Divani. I was not expecting this. So she's made this big fanfare come true with her and the hair. Yeah, come true. Like, you know, hello everybody, grace everybody. She sits down. It basically came up that her and Stephen have been talking, right? Now, some might say, well, look, he's left Nelly. Like, Nelly's left him. They're now separated. Like, there should be no problem. He owes Nelly nothing. He owes the group nothing. He can do what he wants. Divani and julia-ruth, they're also over. They owe each other nothing. They owe nobody else nothing. So technically, they're both free people to do whatever. But she's giving this story like, oh, you know, I noticed Stephen was in my on my stories. I saw his profile pop up and stuff. So I was like, oh hey, and then we kind of got talking, kind of back and forth, and you know, and he's basically been like, oh yeah, you know, we should go for drinks and stuff and meet up. And quite rightly, the rest of the crew them are just like, are you having a laugh? And she's like, well, no, like, you know, and even the way that she's delivering it, yeah, because she knows she's gonna get some pushback, because she's like, I've got some real tea, I've got some real stuff's been going on. They don't even know the half of it. So she's knowingly, she knows that, but it's still come in with the big energy, the big vibrant, I'm a great person energy, drops this information, and they're all like, but hang on a minute, you've seen him on your stories, and you decided to go and slide into his I mean, Lee, she was literally like a Viola Davis, you know, Son's chocolate.
One last question and then we'll be done. This man, is he in the courtroom right now?
Objection,
is
Your
the man
Honor.
you're referring to Prosecutor Hall?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Good God, this is a farce. I'm not the one on trial here.
You are now.
I mean, like, just, yo, so let me just get this straight. So you've decided you're going to slide into his DMs, and everyone's like, yeah, but I don't know why you would do that. And she's like, yeah, well, you know, we were talking, and you know, why wouldn't I do that? Like, why wouldn't I do that? And they're like, so hang on, are these drinks platonic? Are they romantic? And they're like, well, you know, I guess, like, yeah, romantic drinks. You kind of just see, and it is just between you and him, or everybody. Yeah, just me and him. So it's you and him. And they're like, so do you think it's appropriate that you've gone after Nelly? Like, you sat down there and you argued with her across tables and whatever, and made out like she was going mad because there was nothing between you and Stephen, and yet you've waited 2 days. 2 days! Does anyone remember someone else that got vexed about 2 days?
You tried to tell me today that you're not gonna have a go. 2 days! 2 days!
I don't understand. Like, so are you that salacious? Are you that hard up, like, to go and get some male attention, that you have to go for someone that was on the show, that their husband, like you haven't been painted out badly enough. You've decided that no, I'm gonna go for you. I feel as though that I liked you from the get go. You're not with Nelly anymore. Like, I've got no respect for Nelly anyway. So let me go and do what I'm doing. And you know, he's being all flirty in the text messages back, and then it basically says that, like, oh, you know, you could have stolen me from Nelly anyway. As I said, look, these are two grown people. I mean, so realistically, you can do whatever you want. Like, I could go out there tomorrow, run down someone in my car. That's my choice. I mean, like, now I'm a murderer. Like, I can make these choices. Of course, I'm free to do them. That doesn't make you a good person. It does not make you a good person. Like, and I understand that this might be for TV, but like, I just don't understand how somebody can behave in that kind of way and have the gall to walk through the door, yeah, like they're at some fashion week, some London-esque fashion week with all of their closest friends, knowing full well that you've actively gone after someone's husband after vehemently decrying the fact that there was anything going on between you, but you've decided to go after him, and he's in agreement with it as well, to Nellie's detriment. And she's coming with the receipts, like she's literally showing the receipts about what he said and when he said it, all the jokes, all the jokes. So at this point, yeah, they're all taking their punches. Really, it's been like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, Leisha's like, because Leisha was actually excited to be like, yeah, Julia-Ruth better come in and she better bring it. Do you know what I mean? But even Leisha was like, no, you are not a girl's girl. You're not a girl's girl, because if you were, yeah, you would never go after someone's husband, knowing full well there were feelings there. That it's been 2 days, yeah, and I can't remember what she said. She said something like, I wouldn't do something like that. And Kia was like, no, you just go for people's husbands 2 days after they're separated. And she's like, Kia. And it's like, you have got the nerve to have the head tilt, the disappointed head tilt, the auntie head tilt. You lost that, right? Do you know what I mean? Your eye makeup, the big hair, all of it, yeah, you lost the right to give this. Kia. Really, Kia? You've walked down here, sashayed down these steps, yeah, like you're on Strictly, right? And you've decided that you're going to go after someone's husband, and you want to sit down there and judge other people for judging your bad behaviour. What planet are we living on? Like, what planet are we actually living on? You, like, at this point, you have decided that you want to be that girl, yeah? You want to be that girl. Don't make anybody come tell you nothing no different. You're going to do whatever you want to do at the cost of other people. And you've got the brazenness to come in here like you and them are big friends. Like, who wants to be around somebody like that? Because I know I wouldn't. Like, imagine you've got all these feelings pent up for someone that they don't just go away because you've suddenly separated and broken up. I've got feelings for you, and you're going to sit down here with your Cheshire Cat smile and be like, yeah, I did what I did. Like, no, and I'm glad they all held her to account. I'm glad they did. Lee then calls Leah and is like, you will never believe what just happened, like what we just found out. So Leah comes back to the group and she's like, get this, yeah. So she tells them the whole thing about Stephen and Julia-Ruth, and they're all like, nah, man, like he's like, come on, we've got to hear it from the horse's mouth. Hopefully, but like Leah's like, he is a lying toad. I couldn't put it any better. I'm like, come again. It's a lying toad. And what's interesting for me is that, like, I keep thinking that, like, I'm not going to be that invested in this show because I'm like, whatever. But I am. When you've been watching it week in, week out, you see people doing the work and people being vulnerable and being open to love. And then you find these people that just don't care. They do not care about other people. They only care about themselves. I even got to the point of saying to my friend, like, I found Stephen's TikTok, and like some of the stuff that he's involved in for, I can't remember exactly what it was now, but it was for either for kids that have got that are neurodivergent, or for adults that have got kids that have got neurodivergence, or saying that some kind of like group or some kind of parent, something that humanized him, basically. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something that humanized him and made me go, do you know what? Like, okay, it didn't work with Nelly, and okay, he wasn't very nice to her, and okay, he was a bit aggy, very much like, giving me all kinds of red flag vibes. But you know what? He's taken accountability in the fact that he owned how he spoke to Nelly and stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe. But to see this, like, so because he's trying to, when he comes in, they pants him straight away. Right, let's see what's going on then, mate, because apparently you've been texting Julia-Ruth, innit? And he's like, well, yeah, like, we talked about going for some drinks or whatever. And they're like, what are you even talking about? Like, why would you go for drinks with Julia-Ruth? Like, knowing what she was like, and And he's like, look, it is what it is. Like, it wasn't just me and her drinks. It was like group drinks. Well, whoa a second, because she's telling the rest of the girls over there that these were drinks for just you and her, Lady and the Tramp style drinks, just you're the two out on her. Kiss the girl, Sebastian, yeah, that level of drinks. Then he's like, no, that's not what it was. And like, okay, show us the receipts then. I was like, I'm not showing no receipts. And they're like, show us the receipts. If what you're saying is true and she's calling you out your name, show us the receipts, show us the messages. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. Like, end of the day, you do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I ain't going to answer to nobody. And they're like, if you genuinely, being accused of something you didn't do, you would have whipped out that phone so quick. You would have whipped out that phone so quick. And I don't know. On the one hand, I'm like, yeah, I get it. You are not, like, who are you guys to me, really? Do you know what I mean? But this is what I don't understand. Like, if these people you're trying to be friends with these people, which it sounds like you have been, you spent time together, gone karaoke, you spent time with, like, this is how petty my man has been. Like I said in my last one, like, he's written down every piece of activity that him and Nelly did. So these people, I imagine, have got some level of importance to him. Like, no one else would have gone through the experience that, like, he's gone through, like, in this experiment. And you've got these people that sat here that have got time and respect for you, even considering how you treated Nelly, right? They've still got time for you, and yet you've got another layer of disrespect for another person within the experiment that they also care for. I don't know what the time should be if there was something genuinely between them, but come on. Of all the people that you speak to in the world and all the people that you could have gone to do something with, like, why would you choose to further embarrass someone and cause pain to them? But I suppose on the other hand, if Nelly truly has, gone through this and is now back to herself and stuff, which I kind of felt like when she did eventually come, that she was very much like, listen, it's fine, do you, whatever, like, you deserve one another, to be quite frank. I think knowing full well, like, that I was right would be enough for me to know I wasn't going crazy. You had me sat down here like I was some kind of bunny boiler talking about how disrespectful you were and stuff, and you waited that, but if that was a funeral, my body's not even cold. My body's not even cold. Do you know what I mean? The bed that he didn't make me breakfast in is still warm because it was 2 days ago. Yeah, like, and you thought it was fine. So anyway, Stephen ain't showing nobody nothing. It's not their business. He's not doing it. And then as soon as he comes in, you got Devani and Leo that come in. So, Devani again is looking all happy, and Leo's looking all happy, and they're both like, I'm back to myself, which is great. And they waste no time to go, yo, tell Devani what you just told us, bro. And Stephen's like, yeah, so basically julia-ruth messaged me, and we decided that we're gonna go have some drinks and stuff. And Devani's like, what? And I rate that. I don't know whether he showed that to Stephen, like, but it was very much like, what? Because he was like, oh, we haven't really spoken. He said we've exchanged a few messages here and there, but nothing really. Now, the way that Julia-Ruth talks about it is that no, he texts her saying that he missed her and whatever, but they've not really had any real conversation. So Divine is just like, I'm actually still spiraling about the fact that she's messaged him to meet up with him and to go for drinks and stuff. And I'm like, you shouldn't be spiraling, Divine, because you knew what kind of person she was. Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of person. Oh gosh, she's just terrible, but so is Stephen. Like, the two of them. Like, I'm just like, wow, you don't business about nobody. And I love that David was not letting it go with Stephen, just because Stephen was like, look, at the end of the day, like, I'm not with Nelly anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just conversation. It's just drinks. And David's like, because Stephen was like, I wasn't gonna be impolite. I wasn't gonna be impolite and not respond. And David's like, but hang on a second, it isn't being impolite. It's like, when you were in this experiment, and you said that she tried to steal you and you didn't want to be stolen, and the fact that it hurt your marriage and it hurt the person that you were with, like, you could have simply just said, it's okay, thank you very much. Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to reply with, yeah, let's go and do that, which is exactly what you did do. And the fact is that group don't even know the half of it, because they don't even know exactly what Stephen said, but obviously Julia-Ruth does. So like they said, it's all going to come out eventually. We're giving you a platform right now to tell the truth. And I think it goes back to what we were saying last time about the verification of the dating app and stuff, which people were kind of like, I was still kind of 2%, 5%, like, well, we don't actually know. But if you can sit down there and lie about whether it's going to be drinks together, because again, why even lie? If you don't care about these people's opinion, yeah, then why even lie to them? This is what it was. This is what it is. This is what we choose to do. Respectfully, guys, it's none of your business. I don't owe none of you nothing. You're not paying none of my bills. Like, I'm not father to none of you. You ain't father to me. It's really none of your business. Do you know what I mean? Like, stand on business. If that is how much you don't care about people, or unless you are that kind of general that just loves to just do stuff in the shadows, right? And still try and portray this holier than thou image. Like, as I said, I'm trying to kind of remember it is just a TV show. It is just a TV show. There are things that they do like to genuinely create responses and create reactions and stuff. But there is not enough money in the world that would allow me to let you paint me out to be this kind of person. Sorry. I didn't treat you well in the marriage. I basically had nothing but disdain for you throughout it. I treated other people more importantly than you. Made out that you were just some needy, naggy, miserable bint, like, and then allowed you, then went for your arch nemesis, who's I claim there was nothing between, but clearly there was. And basically, I'm now talking like I don't even care about you. There's not enough money in the world, so both of them can get fully in the toxic bin. The two of them, go about your business. But it's not even over. It's not even over. So then Sarah's like, I've been hearing a few things, yeah. I've been hearing a few things, really customers and rare. So julia-ruth's talking about how, oh yeah, they don't even know the half of it. When Maeve arrives, because Maeve comes in, and they're like, oh, she's been doing some digging, or the people around have been doing some digging, and she's found out some things, right? So she's come through and she sat down, and Maeve has not even wasted no time. She's wasted no time. She said hello to a few people, but she sat down because kids run up to her and everything. But then she sat down and she's like, "Yeah, right. Where have you been then?" To julia-ruth, yeah, and from what Sarah was saying about what she's heard in these political rumors, and then Maeve coming in and saying that, julia-ruth is like, I know exactly, yeah, what she's talking about. Sorry, my mouth's dry. I know exactly what she's talking about. Yeah, what we're talking about then? And she's like, me and Joe. I can't even get the sentence out. It's so ridiculous. It's like her and Joe went on holiday. She sat up here, yeah, with the lioness mane. She sat up here with her Crystal, talking about how, yeah, I can do whatever I want to do, me and Stephen, yeah, because it's me and it's really funny. When Leah was recounting the story, she was like, yeah, Julia was coming, flicking her hair. She's coming, flicking her hair. She's like, yeah, me and Joe have gone on holiday. And everybody's face, like my face as I was watching, I just like, I'm trying my best, yeah, to not be like, like really rude, because there are certain terms that certain females have had over the years, yeah, when they exhibit this type of behavior. Now, I'm not looking to say that's what she is. I wasn't all here for liberation, sleep with who you want to, have as many partners you want, if that's you, do you know what I mean? Like, because if guys can do it, women can do it too. Do you know what I mean? I'm all for that. But you've spent a good 30 minutes almost, yeah, talking about how you and the furrowed brow one, yeah, are all like, can do what you want and want to talk to him and go for drinks and yeah. And you went on a holiday with Joe, who quite arguably had an even deeper connection with Maeve because he was in love with her, apparently, and left her shattered in pieces and broken, right? That's who you knew in the experiment, and it's her man that you went on holiday with. Holiday. So not even I've gone to go and see him, or we've been out, or we've gone for drinks, or we've gone for food, or you've took up yourself, pack up suitcase. Sorry. It's help me pack the suitcase, luggage, bikini wet. Bikini wear, do you know what I mean? All your hair goods and stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, you packed all, you think your bonnet, you packed all these things, probably not bonnet, and you've decided to meet this man at the airport, sit on a plane, get to your destination, be there with someone else's husband days after he left his ex-wife, who was a friend of yours in this experiment. You are an awful human being. And I think that's exactly what she was called. She was called an awful human being. Like, who even does that? Like, okay, I get it. Joe is an attractive man. Do you know what I mean? Like, but there's loads of attractive people out there. And I'm not saying that, like, look, as I said, you're a grown person. You do what you want. Who am I? Yeah, I mean, I'm just sat here with the channel. This is just my opinion. But to know that, like, of all the people you could have done that with, like, you chose him. Like, why? Like, why would you want to entangle yourself in a situation whereby he's treated her so badly? And you know what? What I'm also probably like the most furious about, yeah, is that I was Team Joe. Like, I mean, up until obviously he left and then how he treated Maeve, but like I was Team Joe. Like me and my friend were talking about it, and I'm like, nah, Maeve needs to take responsibility for it. And I do still think that she did, you know, for that part of it, she does. But listen, if you're capable, right, of because how it all then came out was that like they went on holiday together, and the way that May found out is because her friends were doing some digging and basically pieced it together that they were both at the same place at the same time and they'd gone together, and here Julia-Ruth know about how we spent the whole time slagging you off. What are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to make a smash a bottle come over there to you? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you poking the bear? You've already crossed the line. Yeah, but like as many of them said, like you are no longer. There's nothing to defend here. You are indefensible. Like, there's nothing to defend here. I cannot defend you. Even Keir was like, look, you've put yourself in positions here where people have had to defend you, like, and chosen to defend you because like they like you. There is no more of that. You are no longer someone that can be defended. Absolutely not. And for me, I'm just like, if you're already in that position, why would you fatten that and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, he slagged you off. Right now, yeah, your fellow female comrades that have bumped this experiment, started the experiment together, when you first sat on that couch and we're talking about the kind of things you want and stuff, like, you started in that vein and you completely dicked over one of your friends. Say you're not even the best of friends, but it's someone that you know, that's someone that you would think you've got some kind of shame. Like, where is the shame? Where is any of the shame? So you've gone on holiday, yeah, not even messaged Maeve to go, oh, by the way, look, you know, there's something going on. You've not even had the grace, yeah, to do that. And she's like, yeah, you know, you're right. Like, you know, I'm sorry. Like, and like, sorry for what? No, you're not. You're not sorry. What are you sorry for? And it's like, because I should have messaged you. And like, what I found really interesting is that like people were, like, she's always said that, oh, you know, I can never finish my sentences. People don't ever let me finish and stuff. But like, from what I could see from the edit, she had ample room to talk. Realistically, she had ample room to explain herself. But what did you expect? What did you expect to come into this group of people and drop something like that and expect they're all going to be like, let's just sit down and listen to more of your crap? You know, because she kept saying like, oh, you know, I did apologize. And then Lee was like, no, you were pushed to apologize. And then you never even gave a full apology. She's like, you know, you disrespected Divani, you disrespected Nelly. Like, there's just too much disrespect here. Like, there's just too much disrespect. You've got no regard for anybody else. You know, like, they all let her have it. And considering that she's like, you know, I'm copying it all and I'm taking it all. There was a moment I'm looking in her face and I'm like, surely this can't be worth it. Like, you've come in being like, I'm going to be this bad bee and all these things that I've done. But having to sit down there and take that from these people, like, it's the disgust and the shame from these people to be like, this is how you conduct yourself. This is actually how you conduct yourself with other people. You've gone after other people's husbands. Like, what? So one wasn't enough. And you're now in talks with another one. So they're like, well, something, and they're like, so hang on, did you sleep with him? And like, she's not answering the question. Like, did you sleep with him? Did you sleep with him? Did you sleep with him? Yes, I slept with him, and she slept with him as well. I mean, look, if you already met at the airport and take your big self on holiday, what are the chances that you're not gonna have slept together realistically? As I said, man, I don't know how they kept their composure, because I like Maeve said, I can't even bear to look at you. I can't even bear to look at you. There's no drinks, fam. I don't want your airspace. You're not someone I want to give my time to. You no longer exist to me. And the fact that Joe had messaged Maeve and said that he was on holiday by himself, so he lied about that. The fact that he'd come back and said that he wanted to go and see her in Newcastle because he meant everything he said, and what is the matter with people? I've said it before in one of my reactions, yeah, that like I can understand why people end up in the nut house, you know, I really can, because what do you mean? You're going to tell me this, share you up on national television, go off on holiday, tell me you're on your own, but actually you're with one of my friends on the show, sleep with her, and then tell me that you want to come see me on the way back from Newcastle because... It's too much. It's too much. It's terrible. And then when Nelly comes in, because Nelly comes down the stairs, and the love's like brace yourself, Nelly, yeah, because this just gets from bad to worse. And you know, I really respect how Nelly handles herself. I mean, at one point, Anita was like, "Come on, man, you're not letting her speak. You're picking at her," and it's like, Anita, respectfully, yeah, you've not been there, like, to sit down there and watch how she's systematically like disrespecting Nelly, made her feel as though that Nelly's a problem, like, you know, like that it's all in her head, and then disrespected her about how she's needy and how Stephen needs a real woman, and like, she is an awful person. Awful. You will never convince me otherwise. I don't care whether you go and do a trek up Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't care whether you do some skydive for sick kids. Like, you are an awful human, and you might decide that, like, after this I've done some reflecting and whatever. But what grown adult needs to sit back and reflect and be like, actually, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't go for the husband that's just destroyed someone that I know in all the ways possible and left her so vulnerable and broken. Maybe that's not the person that I wanna go and be with. And I rate Maeve so much for being like, you know, the only reason you're sorry, yeah, is because she's like, oh, you know, he effed me up as well. Like, you know, he ended it with me. And it's like, the only reason you're sorry is because he did that to you. If he hadn't done that to you, you would have felt no way about continuing. And yet, because it hasn't worked, you're now moving on to Stephen. Like, honestly, I as I said, for TV purposes, well done, Channel 4. Well done. But in terms of, like, just human beings, and I do think it was fair to call out that, listen, the reason that you're getting the majority of the wrath, yeah, julia-ruth, is because you are here on your own. But this is a 50-50, like, your accomplice, if he was here, like, and the fact that he didn't even have the courage to sit down there and own the fact that he just took this random gal for the experiment on a holiday. Where did that come from? Where does that even come from? You took her on a holiday, slept with her, and then want to come back and go and talk to Maeve. The fact there's people out there like this literally makes my skin crawl, because, like, if I told you the amount of, like, situations, the amount of chat that have been just personally in my ear from, like, just dating and stuff, and, like, the kind of things that people say, and then you find out what's actually going on, dude, like, so as much as this is like reality TV and it's not really real, these people are out there. These people are out there doing these things, and, like, doing these things behind people's backs and And the thing I don't get the most, yeah, when people do this kind of stuff, is it was unprompted. Maeve did not ask you to turn around and say that you love her. No one asked you to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could have continued to go and kind of take it steady, see what going, but then you move the goalposts, and then you're like, well, actually, then maybe I need to consider these people's feelings, because, like, if you're telling me you're feeling something like that, oh, okay, like, that's rejigging kind of, I guess, how I feel, because, you know, maybe what I am feeling is not just excitement about the fact that, like, I like someone. Maybe it is deeper and there is something richer here, only to find that, actually, no, you don't love me, and actually you can leave me on my own, and tell everyone you don't really care about it, leave some poxy letter that I don't even need, run off with one of the other wives, sleep with her, and then start telling me about how you want to come see me in Newcastle. Why? Why? Why do that? Why do that? Why do people do that? So, yeah, I feel like, as I said, it's, as much as this isn't like real or what, these things do happen. And for me, like I do blame Joe and I do blame Stephen, but I kind of feel that there should be more blame with Julia-Ruth because Julia-Ruth has gone into this like you have made the decision after already having such a bad edit. I mean, actually, no. I can't even say she's even worse. Well, no, I think I can because okay. What I will say to her credit, yeah, which I cannot say to Joe's credit, is at least she had the good grace to sit herself down in that seat, yeah, and own it all. Do you know what I mean? At least she had the good grace to sit down there and take the heat. So in that regard, I will give her kudos in saying, do you know what? It is what it is. I did what I did. Safe. But I think I would have respected her more if she just had that same energy and not come in like some Trojan horse, like we're all friends and stuff. Like, hey girl, but what you've done is terrible. Like you've not acted like anyone. Because the thing is, even though they might have been their individual husbands, you've all gone through something where there is a certain level of respect, I would imagine. And what you're showing is that you by showing such disrespect to one of them, it shows that you could easily have shown any one of them that disrespect if you just happen to be attracted to their husband. So why would somebody want you around them? Why would somebody want you to be like, just say for example, I don't know, it's 5 years down the line, like in, you break up with your current partner and then like 2 weeks later, Julia-Ruth is humping them. Like, no, I don't want to run that risk. I don't want people like that because my feelings are so, like, I understand that we're not together, but a friend of mine would never do that. They would never do that. And if you are going to do that, then you've never been a friend of mine. And what you're showing me quite early doors is that you are not my friend, and you're not friends with other people that you've also befriended. April being is like, well, I guess they're all single. Like, oh. Like there is no need, right, for to try and placate that because ultimately it is terrible. It is terrible behavior. But yes, I will give her kudos for her at least sitting down there. Joe didn't have the kahunas to do that, which I think is it's wow. And Stephen also lying. And the one hand being is like, I ain't got to answer to nobody, but actually, like, I'm not big enough to just own myself and just be honest about it. Like, it's just pathetic. Like, honestly, all of them pathetic. So Channel 4, well done in terms of getting some rage bait TV participants, yeah, because you've done a great job in that because they are terrible. They are some of the worst you've ever put on the Married at First UK one anyway. Absolutely bottom of the barrel, terrible people. And I'm sure that people say in their personal lives that they're great, wonderful. I don't know them personally, so I don't have to pander to that. All I'm going by is what I've seen on the TV, and I don't like none of honor. And I just hope that the individual people that have been paired with them, yeah, that they genuinely like can recover from this unnecessary hurt and pain, like the Maves, the Nellies, the Divanis. I just hope that they are able just to kind of ease themselves off because boy, they're wicked, man, wicked. I just wow. I'm still floored. I'm just. She went on holiday with Joe. Oh my gosh. What on earth is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Sorry. So yes, you got that. Then I think the rest of it, there was a golden question about what would you like to change in your marriage or something, and Rebecca and Bailey said again about the distance, and Leah and Lee were talking about how if things had gone differently in terms of their relationship previously, and then Leah was like, I don't know if it should be so hard as it is. I think Reese spoke about his feelings and was honest about it. Like, but yeah, as I said, man, I think the Lisa and Reese thing, I don't see it lasting. If I'm honest, I don't. Because he seems so chilled. And, like me and him in a similar camp. Like, you only got to stress out my head a little bit, and I'm like, do you know what, mate? And I know that all the girls are like, it's not you. You like, you shouldn't have to walk on eggshells. There's a difference between walking on eggshells and you not having some kind of barometer to self-regulate yourself about what things are important and what things aren't, you will never convince me that beefing about butter in the morning is something that you needed to do. And what it's going to make me do is go, you know what? Yeah, mate. So I don't know how to kind of navigate this. You know, because she keeps saying that Reese isn't an open book. And again, maybe the things that I'm missing, but you know, the things that you want him to be an open book on and reassure you on, like he's even said like, you are someone that I could see myself falling in love with. I don't know what more else, because he can't guarantee it to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can't guarantee it to you. And like, if someone moves at different paces, like, because there's things that you're like, I'm not too sure about, that's absolutely fine. But you're never gonna get me there by trying to rush me down there or continue to bottom my head top. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. So I guess we'll see what happens. But for the final dinner party, there is some honesty around the table apparently that like rocks everybody. So David's like, I don't think I'm gonna be enough for you. And Kia's looking all shocked. Now, what I found really interesting since looking online, yeah, is like that episode of him and they've got a Greg, we've got a Gales, they've got a Grex, or whatever, and how he was just about my house and my fridge and my wine fridge and this and the other, and then his 6-figure salary. There's a lot of people online, from what I'm seeing, that are not liking that. Yeah, I mean, snobbish, condescending, definitely like not the kind of thing you would expect someone that loves their partner to kind of be exhibiting, kind of thing. Now, I get it, like maybe he's trying to be that whole, you know, I'm just trying to be fabulous, darling, and that kind of jokey kind of thing. But then there's a couple things you're like, I don't know. But again, we don't know him personally, so we don't know, you know, whether that really is him or not. But yeah, interesting that a lot of people aren't feeling that vibe. So then when David said, I don't know if I'm enough for you, I'm at that moment being like, I'm also thinking the same thing. You know, you're friends with a brunch, you know, like, you like to be out and stuff. David's already said that, like, I want to come, I want to chill. I got 3 cats. Like, you know, it doesn't sound as though their lives, like, match up. But who's to say? Maybe they found a way to make it work, and maybe those are just, you know, initial jitters and stuff. Rebecca and Bailey have a similar thing, in that, the questions asked, like, do you think it will, you know, this will fizzle out when we leave the experiment and stuff? And it's kind of like, I do think the routine, the passion, the intensity, I think that could fizzle out, yeah. But I think that's a really sensible, logical response. Like, I'm not going to see you as often, we're not living in the same space as often, like we're going days and days and days without seeing each other as often, and then, you know, becoming used to our singledom again. Like, it's kind of an inevitability, isn't it? I suppose. And then there's some kind of beef that happens in Leah and Lee, where Lee kisses someone back or something, and Leah's like, if I'd have done that to Leisha, yeah, you would have lost the plot. So it's a double standard, and like, don't trust me. And then she ends up calling her the B word. But then it's interesting that some of the other people do call out Leah and her flirtiness, about, you know, who she'd sleep with and this and the other. And I'm like, I'm glad that someone's going to call it out, because I'm hoping that it comes up with Leisha and the chocolate covered strawberries, because they'd really upset me. I'm just like, you could have ordered and made any kind of dish at all, yeah, but you've got some chocolate covered strawberries, and then talking about how, oh, I could turn you and this and the other. Like, what? Like, there is bants, yeah, and I get that altogether. But when you're trying to secure a relationship with someone, like, that you claim to care about, like you claim to want something with, these are not the things that you do. So I'm interested to see how that goes, because as I said, I kind of turned off Leah. I liked her for a while, but then that episode with her and Leisha, I was like, nah, I don't like that. Because that was your opportunity to kind of go, I'm going to respect my partner's boundaries, even though they're not here. Like, yeah, I can have a joke and stuff. And like this, like, you know, I like to joke around. You know what I mean? I like to have a laugh and stuff and take the mick and whatever. I don't need to constantly talking about, oh, I'm going to suck that to no. Let's get them the fingers out down. Like, oh, there doesn't need to be any of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to joke like that in order to have a good time with my brethren. So I think it's a bit of a cop out, really, to be like, oh, I'm just from Liverpool and I'm funny. That's a really awful ass. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm from Liverpool and we're all flirty up here. Come on. Do you know what I mean? And I did give you the benefit of the doubt, but to start just throwing around the B words and that to people, like, nah, you lost me. I think, Lee, yeah, I wasn't your biggest fan before, but I've seen the way you stick up for people. I've seen the way you stand up on business. I see the way that you respect yourself and you want to respect your relationship and not just be, I'm going to tell you I love you after 2 days and then have to write a letter, but then secretly take another wife on holiday. Sorry. I still can't believe it. So I rate how Lee's kind of conducted herself, really, to be fair. Like, I'm going to protect myself and my peace. So yeah, let's see what happens. But boy, there's been a few episodes this season that I've gone, yeah, this episode is like the juiciest one. But no, that one, I like, if you'd have told me in a month of Sundays, yeah, like, would any of the wives or husbands have taken any of the other ones on a holiday? Like, maybe I could have seen maybe April and Ashley having a chat or something after it or something and be like, oh, we went for a drink or something. But to actually go put down your passport and book a Jet2 holiday, like, I'm just like, no. Shocking. I don't know wish no badness on nobody, because at the end of the day, we are all human, and we should, have a learning curve and learn. But how do you not learn not to do these things? And you're not 17, you're not a little pickney. Do you know what I mean? You're a big grey-back woman. It shouldn't take having to watch that back to go, that's nasty. That's nasty, nasty spirited behaviour. That is. There's plenty of other words I'd like to use, but I just don't want to. I don't want to come for it so hard. But there's so many words you call people like that. Like, anyway, I'd love to know what you guys thought of this. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. If you did enjoy this reaction, then do drop me a like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. And if you don't want access to my reactions before they come to YouTube, then please head over to my Patreon, which is a great way to help support the channel, and it's a great way to connect with me more as well. But for now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.